All right. So let us
Sit down. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
sit down. That's what we used to do at Notre Dame games.
That's what everybody does.
Everyone does at a basketball game when the opposing player fouls out.
He's out.
Left, right, left, right. Sit down.
Hoosier basketball.
Hoosier basketball. Actually, this year, Hoosier football, because we are 7-0, baby.
Okay,
And game day, ESPN game day is going to be at IU Stadium, Bloomington, Indiana, next Saturday, this coming Saturday.
Oh, that's great.
And hopefully Lee Corso is still alive by then to be able to broadcast from there.
That's so.
I'm just saying the guy's like 99 and so.
Okay, for the record, I found out today, being a Boilermaker, yes, yay, Big Ten, Hoosiers are 7-0, but I found out today that IU, it's not even the original team from last year. It's the new coach.
New coach?
He brought 10 to 12 players with him, and 10 to 12 players he got in the portal.
So what did Deion Sanders do?
He brought them with him too, but Colorado is not doing great either. So
No,
I mean, they're okay.
They're not as good as IU.
But here's
IU is number 1 in the Big Ten over Ohio State, over Michigan, over Iowa.
wait, they haven't even played Ohio State or Michigan yet.
But that's beside the point.
Okay, well here's the thing. Regardless of this disagreement,
Difference of opinion.
Well, even if IU had all those players that aren't really IU from last year, you know what? You bring a winning coach in, and if you get that coach to change the culture, to shift momentum going into the next year, I can't argue with that.
No, I mean, a first-year coach will always get that bump of the opposing teams not having game films on them, so they don't know what their plays are, how they're going to line up, what to expect. So you get that. So his second, third, fourth year, that's when he's really going to prove his worth.
Yeah.
I think this coach actually is a good coach as long as he can get the players. And that's one of IU's hardest problems, is always getting good players.
For football.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so it's okay. I mean,
again,
like I said,
IU's like Notre Dame. We expect the players to be able to read and write.
that's not the only criteria. Maybe.
Not the only, but you got to be able to read and write and then play.
Okay, yeah. Either way, okay. So now that we've cleared the air.
So what are you doing tonight?
So tonight, we just got back from a vacation trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, with a little jaunt over to Chattanooga, Tennessee. But we started off going to Augusta, Kentucky.
And then where did we finish?
Oh, we finished in Sparta, Kentucky. So
And what's in Sparta?
Bourbon. And moonshine. And history. And absinthe. And Royce and Rebecca.
And a racetrack.
Oh, yeah, a racetrack.
What if you go back and look at our pictures from when we were at the racetrack with Dave and Nina? Because our friends Dave and Nina, Nina, his wife, gave him a birthday or a Christmas present.
I don't know. A present.
Well, a gift, because she loves Dave.
The Dave.
And it was the NASCAR
experience. I think they call it NASCAR experience. Yeah.
Where they're driving. He got to drive. He got, put on the uniform. Suit up. Get in the NASCAR. Drive around and then drive around. In earnest. So.
Yeah, and he got to drive Joey Logano, aka Pencil Neck.
And Dave obviously did it better.
He's a much better driver.
Yes.
Clearly. Anyway, if that's truly the case, so we'll have to research it, and if it's not kind of a silly story. I feel like it is, though. Okay. So anyway, what we're doing tonight is we're just going to do a quick little store haul recap of what we did purchase. Yep. And we might as well just start off with when we first went down to Augusta, Kentucky for Augusta Distillery. Not yet. Yeah. So we've been to so many distilleries on the Bourbon Trail and the Craft Distillery Trail. I think the Craft Distillery Kentucky Trail is
the Beeline.
The Beeline? Okay. I'm not sure if it's on the Beeline or not.
I don't know why they call it the B, other than it's...
I don't know.
A is the big guys and B is everyone else. Craft.
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But what we...
If you know, put it in the description.
Yeah. We tried Augusta Distillery, where the first bottle we actually purchased was this one right here, actually. Old Route 8 Augusta Distillery.
Thank you, Ross, for letting me try your Old Route 8 Augusta out of your trunk when we were at the barrel pick for Green River.
Oh.
Which I still have to edit, but you can see the barrel pick that we did for Bardstown.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah. Because those little things in between the videos doesn't really quite work. But anyway, and then fast forward to us going to Bourbon Women's Association Symposium in August, and we got to meet their Augusta
the Babe
Distillery.
Fest.
Yeah, the Babe Fest. The newly named Master Distiller, Alex Castle, who was the former master distiller of Old Dominic. So anyway, we didn't. Yeah. I know these things.
You got a mind like a steel trap.
What does that even mean? That means I'm smart.
She retains information.
Okay. Well, anyway. So anyway, we went down to Augusta Distillery, did a little bottle your own thingamabob, which was kind of cool. It means a bourbon. You bottle
at Augusta.
Yeah, that's what we did. We tried.
We didn't bottle our own. We thieved and put in a glass.
Hey, we're missing a bottle. We totally bottled it. Where do you care? I'm looking right at it.
That's the one we bottled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have to go to tape because we kind of don't remember. But we did. We had Corey as our tour guide, and we did do basically kind of their version of the whole shebang. And
I think you're right. We did. I remember vaguely. We'll have to go to tape.
Anyway, why don't you talk about that one then? Unless you need me to do it.
I don't remember getting the bottle, and now you want me to talk about it?
Let me talk about it. So they have a river proof series. It's from Augusta Distillery, and it is still not their own yet. The time we went to the...
Right.
So as of...
7 years...
As of a week ago, they just started about 3 weeks worth of distilling their own product, and this is an MGP product at this point, right?
Oh yeah, I do remember bottling that.
Mash bill,
I do remember putting the label
corn,
on.
18% rye, 12% malted rye. Malted barley. I was going to say malted Riley. Anyway, 70%, 18, and 12. And so anyway, this one, their River Proof series is cask strength. In fact, they told us while we were there, it was everything they were going to do. It's going to be 100% single barrel. Don't know how they're going to sustain that, but for now...
Yeah, everything's single barrel, and when it's not single barrel, the other half will be cask strength single barrel.
Okay, and this is a cask
strength. So 2 things.
118.2 proof. It's 3 years old. We bottled it October 12th, 2024.
That's right.
Well, there you go. That's the first one.
That's the first one.
And we didn't buy any additionals like Buckner's and all, the 17 year. They did have the 17 year there.
You almost bought the 17 year.
No, I didn't almost buy it.
Which was a $375 at 4 bills.
$3.99. Yeah.
$400 for a...
Baby. Yeah, you don't have one else close by.
It's over there.
Anyway.
For a $375. Yeah. So $800 for a regular full bottle.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. So
yeah, for something, I mean,
we couldn't try it, so we couldn't exactly say how good it was, but it was tempting just for our viewers.
Yeah, but again, it's MGP, 17-year-old juice. You know, we love MGP stuff.
Yeah, Indiana, you can't beat Indiana whiskey.
So if you like Indiana whiskey, I want you should just go on over and follow Ross and Squibbs and Remus and follow Ian Sturzman. So there you go.
And Lexro.
Well, yeah, but Ian Sturzman is Penelope. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
All of that information to say we bottled it.
So that was one bottle.
118.
Okay.
Okay. So. So then, going to Gatlinburg.
Yeah, on your side.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Kentucky.
So we didn't get anything in Gatlinburg.
Chattanooga.
So in Gatlinburg, we didn't get anything.
Because they had moonshine at Gatlinburg.
We visited.
When we tried it, and it was, it's moonshine. Just flavored moonshine. It's flavored vodka is really what it is.
Sugared white dog. Flavored white dog.
No, it was good.
It was good.
It was flavored. I mean, I like the coffee flavored one and the cookies and cream, was it? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and again, as a very sweet, because again, I like sweet, as a sweet thing, yeah, that was fine. Mm-hmm. But I didn't appreciate the spirit like we appreciate the bourbons.
Yeah, but it's 80 proof. That's not our heat profile.
No, we like it a little higher.
Yeah.
A lot higher, actually.
So anyway, we skipped on the Sugarland Distilling Company. It was cute and quaint. And we then made our way at the end of our vacation to...
But we do have a video on there, Sugarland.
Yeah. So we went instead on our way to Chattanooga, we stopped at one of the Tennessee craft distillers on the Tennessee Trail. And that was called Company Distilling.
Oh, that's right.
And so what we know
right
about...
after we went in the cave.
Yeah, we went to a cave called... Oh, shoot. Tuckaleechee
Caverns.
Okay.
Which is a privately owned caverns that these two 8 and 13-year-olds
little
found.
Boys.
And they never told anybody. And then when they saw all of the... was it Mammoth Cave that they saw? Or they saw how popular this other cave was. They said, we should do something with that. But they had to buy the land, and to get the cave rights, they had to buy the mineral rights, which means everything below the surface. Mm-hmm. So that meant there was like I don't want to say 100 acres, but
it was a lot. It was a lot.
So they had to raise the money first. So they actually went up to Alaska into the oil fields and worked for 3 years to save enough to buy the land and the mineral rights to this cave. And then they came back and opened this cave. And actually, it's a really cool cave.
It is nice. So if you're afraid of caves and going underneath there, I mean, not that this is a bourbon story, but it's very wide open, so you don't ever feel claustrophobic.
Yeah. It's like a football-length field.
Oh, it's awesome.
Width, long, and probably 50, 80 feet high in most cases. So it's impressive. You should definitely go. So
hopefully we'll be able to put a link down in the description when you put that on our other personal YouTube channel, so that way you can enjoy that.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Townsend, Tennessee. We stopped at, like I said, Company Distilling Company, and what we know about the master distiller is this master distiller actually came from Jim Beam, and I forget his name.
Before
I think
he got fired.
Jeff. He didn't get fired. He actually quit to create this company. Well, this distillery, and we'll flash his name on the screen. But I believe his name is Jeff. But he is the only master distiller that came from Jim Beam that didn't die there. So he opted to leave. So we don't know much about him at this point because we didn't get a chance to talk much to people because we came in there, it was crazy busy.
We got there, nobody was there.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we sat down, everybody showed up.
Yeah. So we tried all three of these.
Jeffrey...
Yeah, I don't know. Is it I don't know what it is.
It's fancy script.
Give me your phone, and while you rattle off those three, I'll look it up real quick.
Where's your phone?
I did.
Where's my phone? All right, so
you can talk about those three.
I will talk about these three.
Do it.
So these two we purchased. This one was a gift from our very lovely bestie, Chrissy Weber. Not Joe, her husband, because
she might. I wanted her last name to be known. Too late.
So Chrissy blank. I'll bleep out her last name. She gave us this one because we had brought with us a 6 bottles or so bourbon for her to try because
vacationing bourbon.
Because she's getting into the bourbon world. She's appreciating it. She likes it. She's going, so we want to, push her. Advance her.
Yeah.
So anyway, we bought. Oh yes.
Yeah. So anyway, real quick,
Jeff Arnett.
And he is the first master distiller of Jack Daniels who didn't die there or who didn't retire. So there you go. Anyway, continue.
He was fired.
He wasn't fired. God.
All right. So the first one we had was a straight rye whiskey finished with cherry wood. So when we first got there, they had all their bottles out. So first thing I do is grab the bottle and see what the label says.
What's the name from?
So the only thing that said distilled by was their gin, which was kind of funny because their vodka didn't even say distilled by. So not quite sure what that story was. But when the guy came up and started talking to us, he said, which one of these is actually distilled by you? And then he kind of went off on a story and said, no. I looked at all the bottles, all the labels, and only your gin says distilled by you. And I told him, I don't care if you're purchasing sourcing it and then finishing it. I just want to know. So he said, well, we've only been around for so long, and
I think 2016.
Yeah,
maybe I will have to look it up. I forget.
So everything is sourced, but they do finish. So the rye is finished with cherry wood. So they do kind of like what Pursuit Spirits does, and they put the chips in the barrel. So I don't know if they actually string it on a wire like Pursuit, or if they just dump cherry wood, actual little chips in. But so this one comes in at 100 proof, and
is that bottled and bond then?
No, it's just 100 proof.
Okay.
And now this one is a straight bourbon whiskey finished with maple wood.
Yeah, that was really good too.
Yeah, this one is 57.7, so 7 is 4, so it's 0.4. Carry the 1, so it's 7 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Carry the 1, so it's 104.
115.4, something like that. 115.4. Yeah, and
this was.
What was I going to say about that? I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think we tried like 7.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then this one is their. This one is a seismic rye, single barrel straight rye whiskey finished with cherry wood, kind of like this one, but a rye. This one's a 107 proof, barrel number 23, bottle 68 of 236, and I don't remember what the difference between a seismic is versus.
I don't either.
is this one Company Distilling? They're both Company Distilling, but they're in different bottles, and I don't remember.
Other than this is a limited release single barrel. I mean, they're limited. 100, and that's 107 proof.
Yeah.
Single barrels are generally limited because it's a single barrel.
Yeah.
There's one barrel.
Oh, that actually could be it. Could be that. That actually is single versus. This is their blend of stuff.
Yeah, so finishing. So.
And again, we didn't have a chance to really talk when he was pouring our stuff because.
We were self-guided ourselves.
There was maybe 3. So they had a bar, and they have a bartender, and they had maybe 2 or 3 guys.
Yep, just guiding tables.
Doing tables, not taking orders because we ordered online.
Food,
but they were doing tastings. They were ringing people out, answering some questions. So we don't exactly know what was going on, but we wanted to stop. We wanted to try. They were a small craft. They've got 2 locations. I did find out.
Yeah, I forget what the other place is too, but they do have 2. So we'll put their information down below. But I think this was the first Tennessee craft distillery on the Tennessee Whiskey Trail we visited.
Yeah.
That we visited.
Yeah.
So So, well, I shouldn't say that. That's not even true because we've been to Greenbrier, Nelson's Greenbrier. And Corsair, a few years ago, blah blah blah. But this is the first
you lied. You lied to our.
Totally lied. All right, so get those out of there. That's it on your side, right?
No, I got
one more.
Two more.
Okay. So after we went to Townsend, we ended up in Chattanooga, which is great because we already have a couple bottles of Chattanooga experimental whiskey, and we ended up going to we took a little tour and a little tasting. So we got a couple bottles here.
We'd show you the video, but
we couldn't video.
They wouldn't let us. Even though when we
Oh.
first got there, I asked the guy, "Can we video?" So, "Oh yeah." And then our tour guide said, "You can do anything but videotape and or audio record."
She said no bueno.
Fine.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
So we have pictures. I'll put some pictures up here, so you can see what It was a cool tour. It was their original facility that the owners bought to do distilling, or actually not distilling because they couldn't, but so they could only do bottling there. So they were sourcing. Yeah.
But these guys were hugely instrumental in changing the laws in Tennessee about being able to distill.
Yeah. They had their source product with little neck chains on with medallions that said something to the effect of, "We can't make this here,"
or it's not ours, or something like that. And so
because they were trying to get the laws changed so they could actually, because it was a dry county, so they were trying to actually distill in their county of Chattanooga, and they finally did.
Yeah.
So the place that we were in was a small, long building, and they had a small still there. So they were doing, and they purchased a auto dealer,
Yep.
building, and their big production house is there now.
Yeah. So, as per usual with any distillery, you always have you can only get it here option. So, these all aren't you can only get it here options, but there were a couple. So, we ended up with these three, and might as well pick them up and look at it. This one's experimental single barrel, right?
So, the first one is a limited edition experimental single barrel, which I think the experimentals were the only ones that you could get only there.
That's correct.
Now, this is a single barrel number 295, comes in at 119 proof.
Anyway, we were saying
after or before the battery, actually not the battery, the camera overheated. Damn Sony. All right, so somewhere we were talking about this was a limited edition single barrel coming in at 119 proof and barreled on 7/02/20, bottled on 07/10/24.
single barrel.
Almost exactly 3 years later after it was barreled.
3 years later.
So that's this one, and we did have a tasting of these, and we liked it, which is why we bought it.
I think we tried 6 that were listed, and then he had 3 other options. So
he had extra and the bonus,
3 bonus rounds, but we did
bonus.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is another experimental single batch series harvest bourbon. I don't know what the harvest bourbon means. It's batch 39, comes in at 115 proof, and it's a straight bourbon whiskey aged greater than 5 years. Oh, the mash bill on this one is...
That's crazy mash bill, by the way.
Is yellow corn, malted triticale. And malted rice, and malted oats, and jasmine rice, and... malted barley.
Who puts rice in there?
And malted rye. And then it's put in a barrel that is toasted and charged oak. I thought it was 50, and it said 53 gallon. And it was batch size of 6 barrels.
Only 6 barrels. Triticale and jasmine rice is what stands out. Did he tell us jasmine rice the other day? Because I don't remember saying that.
I don't think he told us the jasmine rice, but triticale, because we like triticale.
The only thing I remember triticale is the dry fly.
Yep.
Tri-Fly.
Yep, which
out
is
of
down
Washington,
there.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, and then the third one.
Third one is a Bottle and Bond, but this is the fall 2020, and it is a.
Is it 2020 when it was released?
The mash bill is. Yeah, when it's released in fall 2020.
Because they had spring and they had fall 2020. Because
Right.
we all know what happened in 2020, so they had plenty of these bottles left. And anyway, you don't normally have a spring and a fall release available at the same time, so it's interesting we actually still had that.
Right. Yeah, we actually at the distillery we were able to try the fall and the spring, or the spring and the fall
Of 2020.
Yeah. So anyway, it says what the mash bill is, but it didn't make any sense to me because it's an SBO 55 40%, B005 40%, and SB 101 20%. Don't know what those means, but the Bottle and Bond series I've gotten before and I've liked, so I wanted to get that.
Yep.
So those are the three that we got, we tried, we tasted, and we liked enough to buy at Chattanooga. I think Chrissy and Joe actually bought some there.
Their core products, they have a 90 proof and they have a 111 cask strength. So you can get those pretty regularly everywhere. So, good. Oh, exit stage left.
Exit stage left.
All right. So then,
there's more.
Our final step on our little tour.
Oh yeah.
Is okay. So why don't you talk about the Neeley family distillery?
All right, so let me step way back. We like to listen to
way back.
We like to listen to podcasts about bourbon, and one of the ones that we listen to is the ABV Network,
the only single barrel store in the country in Arnold, Missouri.
That's right, and definitely take our word for it. Go visit it. You will find extraordinary single barrel releases.
Let me rephrase that. It's not single barrels. Store picks. Store pick only, right? Not single barrels, but some of them are single barrels, but store pick only store.
Yeah, yes, store picks, but yes, store picks. Either way, they're phenomenal. They do a great job. Colonel Steve Akeley does a great job.
Kentucky Colonel Steve Akeley
does a wonderful job at selecting barrels.
Yeah, his team is awesome.
Or blends, either one. But so we went there. So he has a podcast. He also does movies. He's also an author. But we listened to his podcast early on because early on there were not very many bourbon based podcasts. So we listened to him, and one of his episodes, there were actually a reoccurring guest was this guy named Royce Neeley, and he had a distillery named Neeley Family Distillery, and he's got a long, varied history, but he's also got a long, varied family history, which includes a lot of killing, which we found out.
Do we really want to say a lot of killings?
How many notches were on that rifle? More than one is a lot to me.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a family generation of
not that he did it.
Moonshiners, yeah.
His family, his predecessors.
Probably first, second, third generation and whatnot. Actually, I think it's a little sooner than that. But we're just going to go with benefit of the doubt. It's a really long time ago.
That's right. So anyway, we went. Also, he ended up marrying one of the other personalities on the podcast, Rebecca. So now it's the Rebecca and Royce Neeley family distillery. So she does a lot of the picking and she does a lot of the administrative stuff. But they also have as a blender,
master blender, Jackie Zykant, a local Missouri gal who actually used to work for Brown Forman, Old Forester, and Woodford.
Who has a very, very good palate. So
anyway, that was a must stop for us on our way home.
Yes.
It was in Sparta, Kentucky, just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, about I think maybe close to within 45 minutes to an hour of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So.
Was it in Kentucky?
Yes, Sparta, Kentucky. Yep. So anyway, we actually, Michael had video on this, but we actually over here. What we actually did is we got we walked up and we knew who Royce was right away, mainly because of the podcast.
Yeah.
But
also because
and back when we were at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, we actually
tell them how we saw him.
I'm getting there. Patience is a virtue. Virtues won't hurt you.
Did you just come up with that?
No, it's a thing. I don't know where I got it from, but it is a thing. Anyway, we actually went to an Icons Legend dinner at Jim Beam's historical home, we had with Master Distillers, and he was among the legends of all the other Master Distillers from Four Roses, Bardstown, Jim Beam, the fourth one.
Jim Beam, Four Roses.
Jim Beam, Four Roses, Bardstown.
Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark.
Two for Maker's Mark. You forgot two of them.
There were two. Yeah, they were so cute. But anyway, and then Royce, the youngin', who is 11th generation.
Not quite sure how he got on the panel. We love the fact that he was.
Yeah, but
he's not anywhere near the age of all the other people.
Yet. But, I mean, the history of this Neeley family distillery and their generation. He's 11th generation moonshine distiller, rather. And so anyway, we bought some bottles there, but more than anything else, we were blessed with being able to just kind of run into Royce, and
we pulled up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And Dawn was still in the car, and I told her I'm going to go out and take an establishing shot with my stills camera of the building, just because that's what I do. Yeah. So I went out there, and I was walking out, and the door opened, and Royce came out.
Ta-da!
And he had an old fashioned in his hand, and he came out, and I said, "Well, hello there." It's like, blah blah blah. My wife's in the car, Dawn's in the car,
putting on my mascara,
and we sat right behind you at the Icons dinner, and I follow you from ABV, blah blah. So we got talking, and so he started talking to me, and then Dawn finally came out, and then I don't know if you started filming then or when, because I haven't looked at that video yet.
I turned it on way before it said no video.
Oh, okay. And then anyway, so he started talking to us, and he had gotten back from a trip.
So the trip that he got back from was from San Francisco and the awards, and one of the bottles we actually got was from this particular bottle here is his batch 23B actually won a gold in San Francisco, so he was out there, and there you go. So this bottle so now we're small batch series 1, but it is 110 proof batch 23B. That's the name of it. That's the one that was the winner this year at the San Francisco Spirits Award.
That's right.
Yep. So he won accolades for that. And then, so that was our first bottle. And the second bottle we picked up, again, we have to have him sign it, of course. But anyway, the second bottle that we picked up from there is 109.2 proof. And it is the Cherry Picker batch. And and he may or may not be submitting this Cherry Picker batch to the San Francisco Awards next year. We'll see. We'll see if he does or not. But we tried both.
You were paying attention.
Dude, I take video and I listen sometimes. There's a lot to take in. He
is a wealth of information on his family tree and his heritage and distilling. I mean, he and Alan Bishop. Yeah. They should come together and make a distillery and just do significant distilling practices.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say, okay, first of all, just real quick recap, these are both small batch straight bourbon whiskeys. So, we know straight bourbon whiskey has to be at least 2 years. But, I mean, the rare opportunity is what I'm looking for. The word. To just walk in and just I don't want to say a young up-and-coming distiller, but he's been distilling since he's been 18 years old. And excuse me.
Not necessarily legally, but...
But he's not... We didn't ask how old he was, but my guess is mid-30s, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere.
I
think he's under 40.
I'm telling you what. I mean, just if you are the bourbon nerd and you just walk through these different distilleries, the passion that he has for his business is unreal. And the rare, again, opportunity to be able to walk with a master distillery through his facility and his love. So I cannot wait till you get done with that video to
Now you can tell. You can definitely tell. Okay, he was showing us his distillery, but he was showing us his playground. He was showing us his lab. You could tell that he wasn't just telling us about. He wasn't just doing a tour. There was actually a tour going on while we were there, while he was walking us two around. It was just the three of us, and you could tell in his voice, in his mannerisms, in his expressions, in his that obviously he knew what he was doing, but he was passionate about what he was doing. He was proud about what he had, what he created, what he was about to create, what he was doing. And I think that will carry him so far.
Yeah.
And I say so far, but very far. And I think he's definitely going to be successful because he's got all those traits that will cause a person to be successful. And we wish him all the luck. We love that excitement that he brings, that passion that he brings. Yeah,
okay. But the other thing that, again, I know we're just talking about the store haul that we got here, but the fact that he was...
he left a good mark on us.
He totally did. And I totally understand why he was invited to that, Icons Legends dinner, at the former home of Jim Beam, which is now the home of Fred No. And I'm telling you what,
video in the description below.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna give him a run for the money, like with flavor to flavor to flavor,
Oh yeah.
So these two bottles, nice. Can't remember if you can get them outside of the distillery or not.
The 23B, no.
23B, no, for sure.
The other one, I'm not sure about.
I'm not sure either. But either way, so let's stop talking about these two small straight batch bourbons and let's go on to
get rid of this.
That
move them off the table
to another coveted whiskey, another bottle that he's created.
Another spirit.
Yep.
So this one's a little on the green side.
I see what you did there.
So this is his Absinth. Now he submitted this to whatever European...
No. The San Francisco Spirits still. Same.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It's still the same.
Yeah. And they called him up and said, we got good news, bad news. Good news is you won.
He's like, great.
Bad news is we need more samples because we don't think you made it. We think you bought it and just rebottled it.
And why? Most absinthe is not made here in the U.S.
And
mostly in France or just in Europe?
So when they actually also said, how long have you been doing this? I said, well, I've been making, distilling the absinthe for 6 months. So apparently that caught their ire and they said, well, we're going to need more samples. So what he did, he sent another sample, but he also sent the base spirit, which is a moonshine. So he sent that and this, and they actually did a scientific analysis of both spirits and found out that he did do it.
That's the thing. So he won that first year he submitted it. So he got a double gold.
Now that we're back after the camera overheated for the second time. Damn Sony.
Good Lord.
All right.
So what we were saying about this absinthe from the Neeley family distillery is, the first time they submitted it to the San Francisco Spirits Award, it received double gold. Next year they did it again. Double gold. Did it a third time. Double gold again. And once you do that 3 times in a row, it becomes a platinum. Platinum. This absinthe right here
is the best in the world.
Is the world's best, only platinum. I wonder what happens if he does it 4 times.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do with a little food color and moonshine.
Except for there's no food coloring in there.
So he told us how it comes out green. I thought it was the wormwood, but it's not. It's some of the botanicals that he'll put into the. Yeah, it's a different still.
Yeah, it's very. I've never seen one. Well,
but he puts the botanicals into the still, and then kind of like cooks them. I want to say like caramelizes them, but cooks them until the point where they get flavorful and green, and that's what adds the green color.
Yeah.
I don't know if it adds I'm sure it adds the taste, but we didn't go into that. But that's where the green color comes in.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the only other place we actually have seen so far a copper. Well, I mean a copper top of the still. It looks like, I don't know what I can tell you. It looks like the top of a baby bottle.
Oh, yeah. The onion.
The onion, yes, the onion. So the only
You're thinking of Second Sight.
No, not even that. Similar to that, but that one was, I think, designed. The one at Second Sight in Northern Kentucky area was kind of designed very.
That thing.
Yeah, but we saw that at Spirits of French Lick when we were down there with Alan Bishop when he made his absinthe as well. I don't 100% don't know what all of the botanicals are in there. We just know for sure it has star anise in it and hyssop. There's other things in there too, but
there's a lot of things. Somewhere in here it says, but
yeah. So
8 different botanicals.
Yeah.
And includes wormwood, fennel, and 2 types of anise. Or anise. Mm-hmm. And they use their moonshine recipe as the base spirit.
Yeah. So very cool.
So that's very cool. And
it's very cool.
And I like licorice. I like ouzo. I don't like most of the anise or most of the absinthes that are on the market. Mm-hmm. This one I really liked, and this one I would drink straight.
Yeah.
Or not straight, but with. Actually, I would drink it straight because we tried it straight, and then we tried it with water, and I liked it straight better than with water. However, when they added water to it, they didn't add water. They added.
They two things. They did add water, half and half, and it turned kind of a milky white.
Right.
And then they just added. They added it to like
lemonade, didn't they?
Yeah, he added it to lemonade. Right. Yeah. So.
I didn't like. I don't know that I tried it with the water, but I definitely didn't like it with the lemonade.
Yeah, I was
But anyway, normally you're adding sugar to it when you add the water, but that was part of the whole process. There's a special dispenser water driplet thing, and I'll put pictures here.
A little bit Chinese waterboarding-esque.
Yes.
Anyway, if I find one. But so you definitely, if you like that licorice type ouzo flavor, for sure. I mean, that's absinthe. It's used as a spritzer and when you make a true Sazerac. But anyway, so we'll do a review on some. We have at least three absinthe. We'll do a review on. Yeah. We'll do that sooner rather than later because it's different.
Yeah. So in the process of showing us around, we went into his office, and in his office, well, I should say in his old office,
formerly known as his office.
Yeah. Formerly known as his bedroom.
Yeah.
He had a whole bunch of bottles sitting up behind the desk, across the board. And I thought, is that kind of like the library of what you produced, so that you could keep quality control? Blah blah blah. He said, not really. Blah blah blah. And then he pulled one out.
Kind of, sort of, it was though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he handed it to me.
Yeah.
And he said, I want you to have this. Right. And I'm going,
what?
Really? And I looked at it, and I didn't have my glasses on at the time, and I could just, there's a whole bunch of writing on here. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until today when I pulled everything out and I was taking pictures of everything so we could put it in our database that I read where the date sampled pulled date is 2/26, which is my birthday.
Yeah.
So
2020.
Out of all of the ones he could pull from, he pulled my birthday.
Yeah.
So
That's a rare gift for sure.
That's a rare gift. We
oh, look at there's floaties in there. There's some char.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some char. You're right.
I'm not sure that bottle's going to get opened or not.
Either that or it's a spider. I don't know.
I don't know.
Kind of looks like a
I mean,
cockroach.
I think at this point you can tell that we were just like starstruck, all inspired by.
Yeah, we're gonna go with
Royce Neeley, master distiller, 11th generation extraordinaire. Great things.
Married to Rebecca.
Yeah, she's the eye candy, but
she's very much the eye candy.
Yeah, she's
but
eye candy.
She's also the one running the behind the scenes stuff.
And her and Jackie's eye can are doing. They're sampling the barrels all the time. I mean, what a shitty job to have, right?
Horrible. Who would want that job?
Who would want that job?
Having to drink all those all the time.
I know. So, anyway, I guess that's it. So
is that everything?
We're done, dude. I mean, those are some pretty impressive bottles, and we wanted to say the best for last. But so, it'll be interesting to see. Let us know if you guys have had any hidden barn barrels from Neeley Family Distillery.
So how do they come up with hidden barn?
I don't remember. Oh, I don't know.
It was a local distillery that closed up, and they bought the name rights.
Okay, yeah.
And the reason they bought the name rights, and I don't know how much they bought, as much as they went to them and said, "Hey, we'd like to resurrect your brand just because it's a local heritage, and we want to show homage to the heritage." So, like I said, I don't know how much they bought it, as much as they said, "Hey, can we do it?"
Wait, that's not. I feel like that might be hidden. I think that might be the old Jet product line.
Oh,
maybe we didn't buy any old Jet. Anyway,
what was the old Jet?
The old Jet, I think, is what you're describing.
Never mind.
Either way, once we get the video for the whole entire Neeley Family Distillery, Royce was just so full of information that we were just like, every word, we're like, I'm not going to remember this. So, once we get that,
I was in information overload.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway. That's it for our store haul. There's nice bottles here, and you guys, if you're near Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, definitely take a jaunt over to Sparta, Kentucky, for Neeley Family Distillery. Lots and lots and lots of history in that distillery there.
Right in the entrance of the racetrack. So
also, sidebar, he was on Moonshiners on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, on the very first
episode.
The pilot.
And so, go visit that. Definitely make a trek down to Augusta, Kentucky, which is, I'm not sure in relation to Cincinnati that it is, but it's probably about
farther
two and a half hours away from Dayton, Ohio. Good stuff coming out of there. It's MGP product, single barrel. It's a really neat little resurrected space. That's a historic site as well. I don't know if a historic site, but it's a pretty historic site.
It's a historic site because they made buttons or
car
buttons, but non-distiller related.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, that's it.
Anyway, before we run out of temperature.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that sucked. You gotta hold it down here.
Dang.
Anyway, as always, we will see you next Tuesday for our 2 Sips Tuesdays, and we'll probably see you on a Thursday, and we'll probably see you on a Saturday. I don't know quite which. I think I might do the Frank August. No. I think I might do the old Route 8 Augusta review that we did on, and put that out on Thursday. And then Saturday, what are we going to do Saturday?
Distilleries.
Probably one of these things.
Yep.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
All right. So, 3, 2, 1. So this is take 2 after the battery or the camera overheated of our store haul.
Oh,
what? Not my fault.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Ridiculous. I mean, can I just say ridiculous?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, how much money you spend on camera gear and it overheats?
I agree. Especially on a camera that is...
The operation and safety of this battery cannot be guaranteed. Continue use? Okay.
Now, here's the problem.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay.
All right.
Oh. Seriously, technology, just work.
All right, fine. All right.
Anyway, we were saying.
Can't cut that that fast. You gotta give me something to move into.